Greetings YouTube, Sega Zombie here and welcome to another Sega Wall channel update. Now this video has been inspired by some of the decisions I've made with the Sega Wall going forwards, and it's been something that's playing on my mind for the last couple of months, and a situation has occurred which has really made me decide and get my teeth into deciding to shift on my PAL Sega Saturn set. Now it's not a complete set, it's not changed a huge amount since I last filmed my Sega Saturn collection 3-4 years ago. I've added 1 or 2 titles over that time, but nothing major, and I love the Sega Saturn. It is one of my favourite consoles, but I play the Japanese Sega Saturn, and when I have some money to spare, I'm always investing in Japanese Sega Saturn games. So I've been pondering the idea, and I've mentioned it in pickups videos, that I want to thin out my Sega Saturn Pal collection. I've decided to keep what's nostalgic, the games I loved back in the day and the games I owned. But everything else is going to go, and for you guys that collect PAL Sega Saturn will know that some of these games are commanding extremely high prices, and they're not great games, guys. It's like that in collecting. I get that across all of the systems. You know, the desirable, the rare games, the games that didn't sell well and ultimately were a load of tripe. So it seems to stick out a lot more on the Sega Saturn though, and it's a genre where with me the nostalgia lies heavy on the 16-bit. Them games, 2D games, have held up so much better, in my opinion, than the early 3D games which we see on the Sega Saturn, the PlayStation 1, the Nintendo 64. That's an era where the games don't look pretty, and when you take them rose-tinted glasses off, sometimes some of your memories of some of these games, particular for me, GoldenEye, it kind of destroys that memory you have of the game because they just look awful. And it's no different on the Sega Saturn. You know, that genre, that 32-bit 3D genre, early 3D, ain't pretty, guys. And for me, my passion for the Sega Saturn is it was a 2D powerhouse. And unfortunately here in the UK, we didn't get to see a huge amount of 2D games over here. There is some standout titles like 3 Dirty Dwarfs, that's a great 2D game, side-scroll beaten up. Another one is Guardian Heroes by Treasure, you know, another fantastic 2D game. And then you've got Rayman, which is very good platformer. We've got shoot-em-ups like Parodius and the like. But the library in Japan is just so much more vast. I love shoot-em-ups. I love fighting games. I love side-scrollers. These are the games that I ache for in 32-bit 2D power. And that's why when I've got cash to burn or money to spend, I tend to focus on my Japanese Sega Saturn collection, which is a modest collection. Some of these games command extremely high prices, which is another reason why I'm thinking cashing in on some of these cash heavy titles that just ain't my cup of tea. Not necessarily a bag of the game, just a game that's sat on my shelf and not being played for a number of years. So I'm thinking now's the time. A situation has arisen. A very good friend of mine is selling a massive Japanese Sega Saturn collection with some absolutely glorious games there, and I can't let this opportunity go by. You know, he's been sound. He's said, you know, sell your PAL Saturn games, raise the money, I'll hold on to the games for you, which is a legend for doing that. I'm on plenty of coffee, guys, because it's early morning. And I just wanted to get this video out there, document, the camera will zoom in, show you the collection. to be one of the most significant changes in the Sega Wall ever since I started doing this. It's a massive step for me. So I just wanted to share it with you guys and document it with all of you guys. But there's games that I'm going to want to keep. Baku, I had that back in the day. That's going to be kept. But the likes of Guardian Heroes, I did enjoy that game back in the day, but it's going to go, guys. That's one that I'm going to let go, definitely. And I wouldn't mind having the Japanese treasure version of that. So that's one for the pile. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to stack them, and we're going to see what we're left with. Just thought it'd be interesting. You're not going to see it in shot, but no fears. I will show at the end the games that I'm going to move on. The Story of 4-2, an absolutely great game. Really enjoyed it. It's an RPG though. This one I'm undecided on, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not sure what to do on it. That's going to go in the 50-50 pile. Next up, 3 Dirty Dwarfs. I think I'd be happy with the Japanese version of this, to be fair. So I think 3 Dirty Dwarfs might be for sale. Rayman, a game that's a very good 2D game. It's a game that I played loads back in the day, but it's not. If I want to play a platform game today, I don't choose Rayman. So that's going to go. Parodius, loads of different releases in Japan. I want those. The UK Parodius, that's going to go, guys. Virtual Cop, it's got to stay, I think. Because just for nostalgia, even though I think I have the Japanese version of this, can I honestly let that go? We might keep that one. Baku, that's staying, guys. Definitely 100% staying. My family loved that game back in the day. Manx TT Superbike, again, it's a cheap game on the Saturn. It's pointless me getting rid of it, really, and there's loads of nostalgia there. A game I owned back in the day. The same with this next one, and that is Exhumed. It's another game that is a first-person shooter that I absolutely adored back in the day. And I still like to have a blast on this now. So that's staying in the collection. Fighting Vipers. Again, it's a fighter. I can get the Japanese release of this, so it's going. And Golden Axe the Duel. Another one, a 2D fighter. Very underrated, this game. I think because there was such a flood of 2D fighters back then, this game kind of got forgotten. And people were disappointed that the Golden Axe name, it wasn't a Golden Axe game, it was a one-on-one fighter. But I really liked some of the twists in this game. Some nice tweaks to the gameplay. And it looks lovely. A glorious game. But again, I'll move that on and get the Japanese one. Shinobi X. Now this is a difficult one. It's got a different soundtrack on the UK release of this, the PAL version, over the Japanese, I believe. It's going to go on the undecided pile. Next up, we've got Daytona USA. It's staying, guys. You know, it was a launch game. It was a game I had back in the day for the Saturn. That ain't going anywhere. Chen War. I have no idea what this game's about. I think I might have played it when I picked it up, but yeah, that's going. Then we've got Darius 2, again. Great 2D shoot 'em up, the Darius series. Recently been released in a collection on the Wii. But that will be going, guys. Again, the Japanese version. Virtual Racing, one of the most disappointing games released on the Saturn. I had such high hopes for this game. You know, I loved it on the Mega Drive, the 32X, but I thought with the power of the Sega Saturn, they would nail this game. And unfortunately, Sega didn't do this game in-house. Time Warner Interactives published it, and you can tell this wasn't Sega in-house. It plays pretty poor, guys. That will be going. Gex, popular back in the 90s, platformer. Loads of these style of games. Crystal Dynamics. It will be going, guys. This is a Ben Boyd special and it ain't going anywhere. Let's take it out of the protective. You'll notice I've got all these horrible crinkly bags on all of these. But yeah, look how fantastic that is, guys. A Ben Boyd made game. I really need him to get me to do the manual, really. I'm not sure if he ever done that. But that is fantastic, and that ain't going anywhere, Ben. That's staying right there. Totem Wars, another Crystal Dynamics game, FMV space shooter. And I like these cheesy FMV shooting games, I really do. And do you know what? I think I might keep it. Next up, guys, we've got Tilt, a pinball game. I think, again, this is one that I've played once when I got it, maybe. So, yeah, that one will be going. Buster Move 2. Now, this is a difficult one because, again, this is a very nostalgic game with the family, this one. My mum especially. I can remember we had the Sega Saturn set up, and eventually we got her a PS1 just so she could play the Buster Move games. But yeah, lots and lots of memories of Buster Move. So that will probably stay. Then we've got a US Gold release, Johnny the Zugatone. I remember playing this. Got high scores, but I remember playing this recently. Yeah, no, not my cup of tea. So that will be going. D, the English version. Kind of like a point and click adventure style survival horror-ish game. But yeah, that will be going. Just don't play it, not my sort of bag. And we've got Sonic 3D. Again, the Japanese release would do me on this one. There's not much nostalgia for this game for me, so that will probably be going. Alone in the Dark, Jack is Back. The original survivor horror game. You know, this was before Resident Evil, this. But yeah, it's not aged well. It's one of those games that's really aged poorly, a bit like the original Resident Evil. So that will be going. And then we've got Black Dawn, a helicopter sort of sim, sort of arcade shooter. That will be going. We've got a lot going here, guys. There's a lot going. Let me know in comments down below what games you would keep. Am I doing the right thing here? Yeah. Sega Worldwide Soccer 97, a game that me and my mates absolutely adored this game back in the day. They ain't going anywhere. It's not really worth much, so it might as well stay in the collection. Then we've got Wiz on the Sega Saturn. I remember it being really chuffed that I got hold of this Konami release. Yeah, quite a tough one to get hold of, I believe, on the Saturn. That in lovely condition. That will be going. Clockwork Knight. I've got a lot of nostalgia for this game. I remember I wanted this to be a lot better than it actually was. Played it, you know, once you get past the disappointment, it's a competent 2.5D platformer. But again, I can have the Japanese release. That wouldn't fuss me. So that's going. Then we've got Virtuon, Cyber Troopers. My mates were into this game more than I was. I never really got to grips with this game. And you could get the twin sticks, which I did used to have on the Saturn. But my good mate Ben Boyd had them off me a while back now. So yeah, I'll get the Japanese version of that. And then Virtual Hydalide, the notorious RPG arcade-a-thon with the god-awful digitised graphics and awful gameplay, and it's so bad and cheesy that it's good. This game is actually good. Do you know what? I'm undecided with Virtual Hydalide. I really am, because I love how poor and cheesy it is. Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition, that ain't going anywhere. That's staying. Worms, don't even need to talk about that. I think most of you know that I'm not a fan of Worms. That's going. Off-World Interceptor Extreme. I think I gave this again a quick blast. Never played it. Crystal Dynamics. God, they threw some games out back then, didn't they? But that's going. The original Tomb Raider, that's got to stay. You know, people forget that this was developed for the Sega Saturn originally, and it was such an iconic and game changer, this game, when it released. It really was. Never seen an adventure game like it, with all the puzzles and the environments, and just you felt like you were there. You really did. A great game. Me and my mates played a lot, and that's staying. Robo Pit, couldn't really tell you much about it. I think it's a fighter again. I don't know much about this one, guys. That will be going. Shell Shock, a game I did enjoy. I enjoyed these tank type of games back then. Was this core game? Yeah, core design. But I haven't played it in years, so that will be going. Theme Park. Oh, the nostalgia with Theme Park. This one feels light, so I believe it might be missing its manual. So, you know, that might stay, because what's it going to be worth without a manual? Not a lot. Then we've got Casper. Again, it's not one that I'll be looking to stay. There's no nostalgia with that game at all. Breakpoint. Tennis game. Unfamiliar with this one, can't really remember it. A nasty sticker on there. Ocean Release, that one will probably be going. Then we've got Mighty Hits, which is a pretty good light gun game actually, and very similar to Point Blank sort of game. Not bad, not a bad little sort of mini game, shooter, cutesy. Yeah, very, very Point Blank. Sega's sort of like answer to it. Mighty Hits. That's on undecided, I think, because it's a light gun game. Oh, that's when I get to them I struggle. Defcon 5. This one is new and sealed. Just to show you that, guys. I've done a trade on this a long, long time ago, and it's never had its tape seal split. So that one will be an interesting one to price that. I got this off Galaxy Sega many moons ago in a trade, so that one will be going. Defcon 5. Wing Arms, I bought this thinking it was Sky Target. I got them two games muddled up. This is the not so good one. Sky Target, I'm going to get Japanese. So Wing Arms, that will be going. Wow, guys, we are getting some serious games here. Hang On GP96, I remember really liking this back in the day. It doesn't play so well now, if I remember rightly. But I'm going to give this one another try, because it is quite a nostalgic game. So that's going to be on the maybe pile. So we're getting there. That's one shelf down, guys. And this is all I'm keeping so far. Next up we've got Loaded, again that's got a lot of nostalgia for me. And I can remember one of my mates, when he got his PlayStation, he got this, and I was gutted when he got the sequel as well. So I think I'm going to keep that one. Then we've got another Ben Boyd special here. We've got Christmas Nights. Look at that. Such a talent, Ben. That ain't going anywhere, mate. That's going up there. Resurrection Rise 2. I love how they took out the Rise of the Robots title out of that. But yeah, this ain't much better than the original. That will be going. Virtual Fighter. That ain't going anywhere. A launch game. Die Hard Trilogy. Loads and loads of nostalgia for this one as well. A massive hit on the PlayStation, as well as the Sega Saturn. Oh, a sip of the coffee. But yeah, really not one I'm looking to keep. So that will be going. Amok. Couldn't tell you anything about this one. Again, it's a game that I've picked up probably cheap and just played the once. So that will be going. Chaos Control. I've got the Japanese release of this game. It's like an on-rail shooter. Starts off actually with a lot of promise, this, from Infogrames. but it soon gets very tedious and samey and boring. It really does. Once you get through the first few levels. It says it's virtual gun compatible, which is interesting. I can't remember that. Perhaps that will have to go on the try it out, but I'm sure I've got this Japanese. I'll have to double check on that. So that's going to go in the maybe X-Men Children of the Atom. Again, I can get this Japanese, but there's a lot of nostalgia for this. This was the first sort of Street Fighter X-Men game, wasn't it? You know, the first Capcom X-Men game, and I remember us all loving this. So I might hold on to that one. Then we've got Galactic Attack, which is a fantastic 2D shooter, really is. Someone on Galaxy, it might have been Pete, that told me about this game. It's not a game I had back in the day, this one. Known as Last Section in Japanese, in Japan. So I'll be getting the Japanese release of this, so that one will be going too. Bland Machine Head, another core design game. Couldn't tell you anything about this one, guys, but that will be going. Then we've got Hexen, which was a bit better than Doom, but not a lot on the Saturn. Nostalgia there for it. I remember really enjoying it back in the day, but that will be going. Then we've got Shine and Wisdom. It's an RPG. People love their RPGs. I don't really have the time for them. I've got so many RPGs and I don't play any of them, so Shine and Wisdom will be going. WWF in your house. Wrestling games. Not really my favourite type of games. I prefer your typical fighters, really. Too much grappling and button bashing on these type of games for my liking. I like the 16-bit Mega Drive and Super Nintendo wrestling games back in the day. But yeah, after the 16-bit era, I kind of got tired of the wrestling games. So that will be going. Athlete Kings, absolutely fantastic game. Still play it now when we have a bit of a retro night. Such a competitive, fun game. A massive take on track and field, that type of game. Absolutely glorious. 60 frames per second graphics for the time. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. That's staying. Die Hard Arcade. Again, I can get the Japanese release of this, so that will be going. Very good game. Then we've got Starfighter 3000, another on-rail shooter. Undecided on that one really, because I do love these space shooters, but nah, that one will go. I'm sure I can get the Japanese release. Then we've got Area 51. A good game, but let down by some poor hit detection. Never really got on with this game being very accurate with the light gun. I don't know if you guys have experienced the same with this, but it's just not as accurate as Virtual Cop and the other games. I always struggled a bit with this one. But it's a light gun game. Do I keep? Undecided on that one actually. I'm not sure. And then we've got Bubble Bobble featuring Rainbow Islands. I really want the Japanese version of this, but this one has lots of nostalgia. A lot of nostalgia with this one. So that's going to go on undecided, because you know I could get the Japanese release of that. Then we've got World Series Baseball. Now I like a good baseball game. I don't know why. I'm not particularly into the sport, but I really used to enjoy playing some of these baseball games on the Saturn. Again, I'm going to look to see what kind of money this game go for. If it's just a couple of pounds, I might as well keep it. But so that will go on the undecided pile. Then we've got Primal Rage, which is a game I enjoyed back then, but I really don't get on with it nowadays. Just not my bag. Clunky controls on it. Really lets it down in my eyes, so that will be going. Another pinball game, True Pinball. Again, I'm not familiar with it. An Ocean release, that will be going. Another Ocean game, Tunnel B1. I can remember when I had my shop back in the day, I had crates of this game. It obviously didn't sell as well as intended. I think there was kind of high hopes for this game. It was advertised quite well. It was a bit of a stinker. It didn't take off, and I can remember just having endless copies of this game in my storeroom, in my shop. You know, we couldn't give this game away. So that will be going. Virtual Fighter Kids, I know a lot of people like these type of games. Not really my bag. The whole cutesy, small head, small body, big heads. Don't really get it, if I'm being honest with you. It's a very Japanese thing. And yeah, it's not my cup of tea. That will be going. No nostalgia really there. Street Fighter Alpha 2, one of my favourite Street Fighter games of all time. This is going nowhere. That's staying for now. And then we've got Battle Monsters. I couldn't really tell you much about this. I think again it's another fighter. So yeah, that will be going, guys. Virtual Fighter 2. Virtua Fighter 2, that ain't going anywhere, is it? And then we've got Highway 2000, which was complete, but to help out my good mate Mark Almond, we done a trade on the manual. I know this is a tough one to get with a manual as well, but yeah, that one will be going. Then we've got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. And the Mortal Kombat games, again, 16-bit was where I loved them. We did buy them all every time one come out. But I still say Mortal Kombat 2 was probably my most played Mortal Kombat game. Kind of started to fall out of love with it with the third one. I know a lot of people say this is the best one, but Mortal Kombat 2 for me, guys. Crime Wave, I kind of like this isometric sort of style to this game. Let down with some poor controls, really, but it's quite a slow burner game. Did enjoy it back in the day, but not enough nostalgia there to hold on to it. Then we've got Mysteria, The Realms of Law, another RPG, that will be going. When am I going to play it, guys? I just don't play them. Then we've got the notoriously poor port of Doom. Just can't believe how poorly that was handled by Doom. It really is a really bad conversion of Doom, and you know, people thought that the Sega Saturn couldn't handle a first-person shooter, but how wrong we all were back then, because Exhumed just shamed this port. It really did. An absolutely fantastic way of making a first-person shooter on the Sega Saturn, and this ain't. So that will be going. Alien Trilogy. A game with a lot of fond memories. Again, I don't think it's a very expensive title. Lots of nostalgia there, so that one will be staying. Hardcore 4x4. Again, a game with nostalgia, this one. I remember playing this a lot. Gremlin graphics. Remember playing this back in the day, but it don't hold up well now, so that will be going. Wipeout. Do you know what? I'm going to be a bit controversial here, but Wipeout was never really my thing. I remember everyone obsessing over this game on the PlayStation. They were done so successfully here in the UK that it got a Sega Saturn port, and I liked some of the music on it, I liked some of the tracks, but it was too damn hard, and the controls to me were a little off. I never really adjusted to it. And I didn't really see the significance of some of the weapons in the game. I preferred F-Zero. Nintendo smashed it with F-Zero for a space sort of racer, modern futuristic racer. F-Zero's the game. Wipeout, to me, it just never cut it. That will be going. And we've got Cyber Speedway, another futuristic racer. Probably bombed. I don't remember it. That will be going. And then we've got Toriko, another sort of like early point and clicky, adventure-y type affair, another sort of kind of horror game. Quite desirable on the Saturn, I believe, but no nostalgia, so it's got to go, guys. And then we've got Tempus 2000. I need to look in to see if this has got a Japanese release. Probably has, but that ain't going anywhere until I know. That will be staying. I absolutely love Tempest. An RPG that I really did enjoy, and it kind of took me back to the isometric specky games, this obviously with far superior graphics and that, but kind of how the puzzles worked and the camera style and how the game ran kind of reminded me a bit of Head Over Heels, Night Law, that sort of game. But Dark Saviour, really enjoyed this back in the day, but I ain't going to have time for this game now. It's an RPG, so it's going to be going. Then we've got International Victory Gold, just because it's not really worth anything. That'll be staying. Then we have Street Racer, a game I really enjoyed. You know, everyone, my mates still had a Super Nintendo back then, and you know, we still played Mario Kart an awful lot, and every time a kart racer come out that we thought might be a Mario Kart beater, we'd buy it. And I bought Street Racer. It's not bad, you know, it's not a bad little kart racer, this. Really enjoyed it on the Saturn. Again, I'm tempted, I might keep it. I'll look to see if there's a Japanese release of this. But yeah, we'll put it on the for sale for now. High Octane, another futuristic racer. God, there was so many of these. Little bit of damage to the box of this one, which is a shame. It's all complete. It felt a bit light. I thought it might be missing the manual, but no, it is all in there. It will be going. It will be going. The same with Soviet Strike. You know, I loved these on the Mega Drive. Bought them all on the later consoles, but never. They kind of lost the magic for me. So that will be going. We're getting there, guys. Wow, we really are. Let's move old Sonic down a bit. Another game that's so bad it's good, and a game made into a movie, and then the movie made into a game. We've got Street Fighter, the movie. Always bugged me that they released it in this Mega CD style case. So I'll be happy to see that one go off the shelf because it never quite had fitted in. So that one will be going, guys. And then we move on to my most recent purchase. We've got some manuals here. They'll be going. But my most recent purchase or trade off of Retro Boothie, and that's Swagman. Sought after game. I gave it a quick play. Again, I don't think I'm going to go back to it, guys. So that will be going. We've got another Ben Boyd special here, and he done a slip cover to house Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2. I'm not going to get them out, you guys know what they look like, but they're mint. They're in glorious condition, so deserve to be in this lovely slipcase, and that ain't going anywhere. You know, everything Ben's done for me is staying. And Panzer Dragoon, you know, I think I've got the Japanese releases, but I love that series. That will be staying. As well as, for now, Panzer Dragoon Saga. You know, I got this off Lee Thornley many years ago, and it's in absolutely glorious condition. It's in its protective case. That ain't going anywhere yet. That will be staying. And then next up we've got Enemy Zero. Again, in its lovely cardboard case, in pretty good condition as well. Enemy Zero, that will be going. Road Rash. Love this game. I'm undecided on Road Rash. I'm going to hold on to it for now, I think. But it's a bloody EA box, which I'm not too happy about. Warcraft 2. Real-time strategy game. Loved this game back in the day. I spent hours on this game. I really did love it. But I haven't played it since, you know. The game I was eager to get back into the collection because I remember the hours I sunk into this on the Saturn back then. But I'm just not playing it, guys. So yeah, it's going to have to go, isn't it? FIFA 96, that will be going. Fighters Mega Mix. Now that's a hard one. That again, I no doubt I can get the Japanese release. God, this is minty. This one. So yeah, it's good. It can go. Trash It, puzzle game. Played it a few times, but look, absolutely glorious condition. That will be going. Mech Warrior 2, the 31st Century Combat. Yeah, that will be going. Formula Kart Special Edition. can't remember that one really, guys, but yeah, that will be gone. Independence Day, the game, again, that will be gone. Croc! Oh, yeah, loved Croc back in the day. It's even got the codes in there that someone's done. Inbuilt fault with every disc. Start game from CD player, it runs perfect. Start game from power on reset, plus Croc has no arms or legs or tail. Don't know if you guys can remember that, but yeah, a fault with the game, a bug. So yeah, you had to load it from the CD-ROM player. But yeah, Croc, that will go. That will go. Crypt Killer, so bad, it's good. I can't let this go. It's staying. Virtua Cop 2, another light gun game. It's not going anywhere. It's staying. This is a difficult one, this. Duke Nukem 3D. Loved this release on the Saturn. Really, really good. Still got the original Electronics Boutique receipt in there. Duke Nukem was originally $34.99. They traded in POSAT. So he got £7 and £9. Left $18.99 to pay. He had a gift voucher for £20 and he got £1 change. Merry Christmas, that says on the bottom there. This was Metro Centre, Gateshead, Tyne Weir, the 27th of the 12th, 1997. Wow. But yeah, it's also got its original little leaflet in there, in great condition. Gonna be ruthless, guys. I'm gonna be ruthless, I think. If I can shut the case. Let's go. I love the second gen boxes as well. It's tough getting rid of these. House of the Dead is staying for now, but I think I might be getting the Japanese box set of that. But that will stay for now. Lost Vikings 2. I know a lot of people like the Lost Vikings games, but not one I've got into. That will be going. The Bitmap Brothers' last game was this. Z. An RTS. I remember it's quite desirable on the Sega Saturn, this. Got a bit of crinklage to the manual, but a nice iron would sort that out. That will be going. Maximum Force, another arcade. Is this another light gun game? It is, isn't it? Again, dodgy detection if I remember rightly, or was it Area 51? One of these doesn't play too great. But yeah, Maximum Force, I know this is a desirable one. I think it's going to go, guys. I don't play it. Winter Heat, just because I've kept Athlete Kings, Winter Heat is staying. Not as good as the original Athlete Kings, but a game I still did enjoy back in the day. This one was off my Sega brother, Pete Coombs, when he was selling up his PAL games. Mint condition, as all the games off Pete were. Rampage World Tour, that will be going. Then we've got Burning Rangers. Now this one, I believe, is manualless. The one big sort of hitter, yeah, that hasn't got a manual. So what to do on that one? I'll check prices, but if it's not going for much, I might just keep it. Burning Rangers, nice to have that in English. Then we've got Last Bronx. Now I sold my Japanese release of this. Oh, we've got a lot of breakage here. This is going to have a case swap, this. I've got some spare cases. This is smashed to high heaven, which is a real shame. Probably a result in the move, I'd imagine. It's all freshly broken there and I didn't notice it. But yeah, Last Bronx, I sold my Japanese release to this, to Pete on a retro tip to get the PAL one. Well, I'll be doing the same. I'll be selling this once I recase it to get the Japanese one. Aren't we mad as collectors, eh, guys? Crazy. Oh, they're all falling on me now. Command and Conquer. A great game back in the day. Loved it on the PC. Remember when the family got its first sort of powerful PC. Loved these type of games. Never really got into them on console. That will be going. Sonic R. Now I know a lot of people hate on this game, but I really quite liked it. You know, once you get over the fact that you're not actually actually racing in cars and you're on foot, it kind of makes more sense, this game. And it's got a lot of nostalgia, so for that reason I think it's going to stay for now. Sega Worldwide Soccer 98, great game, not going anywhere, lots and lots of fond memories of that. Sonic Jam, again, just for nostalgia, it's in the second gen case, again that needs a case change, that will be staying. Quake, great game, loved it, awesome. This one did play exceptionally well on the Saturn, and it never got quite, the original Quake never got a release on the PlayStation if I'm right. So yeah, a good one, but it's going. Sega Rally, just because it's Sega Rally, ain't going anywhere. Sega Ages, a difficult one this. I've got Outrun, but I still need Space Harrier and Afterburner 2 Japanese releases, because they're all, the Sega Ages were all released individually over there. So yeah, I probably will let that one go, even though there is a lot of nostalgia there. Steep Slope Sliders, another game with loads of nostalgia. Loved this back in the day. A great little snowboarding game. Not aged well graphically, again the 3D lets it down. But yeah, I think I can let that one go. Then we've got Marvel Superheroes. Great game. Went on X-Men Children of the Atom and then boom, just made it even better. I loved the over-top special moves and everything in this game. It's just so frantic, so fast. A great game. But I can get the Japanese release, so that can go. Then we've got Street Fighter 2 Puzzle Turbo. Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, should I say. Enjoyed these back in the day. A game that I will have a little blast on every now and again. But I can get the Japanese release, so that will be going. Resident Evil. I've got these on the Dreamcast. We've all got them on multiple releases. It's going to go, guys. Fantastic condition, that. Pandemonium, a big hit on the PlayStation, and it got a release on the Sega Saturn due to its sales. Crystal Dynamics again. A really kind of forgotten game. It was very big at the time, but it soon disappeared, this one. But I think a lot of people are talking about this game again over recent months and years. But yeah, that will be going. There's no nostalgia there. Then we've got Sega Touring Cards. Again, I'm going to check the price on this. If it's not a lot, it's going to stay. Then we've got Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster. I know this is quite a desirable one on the Saturn. But yeah, it's going to go. Tim Curry. Love Tim Curry, but it's going to go, mate. And then finally, we've got this is quite fitting, the last official PAL Sega Saturn game released in the UK, Deep Fear. Now, there's a lot of nostalgia with this one because I can remember going to the independent shop in my town hunting this game out because Electronics Boutique didn't have it. They did not get this game, or if they did, it was like in very limited numbers. But I managed to get this off an indie game shop, local shop, and yeah, I was chuffed sick. Loved this game back then. Again, it's not aged that great now. I would probably let that go because it's worth an awful lot of money. So we'll let that one go. There we go, guys. There is all I'm keeping. Also, I don't know if you can see it in shot. You can probably just see the bottom. See if I can get it down. Because I predominantly play Japanese. Oh, look at that lovely arcade stick, that. Just because I predominantly, I use my Japanese Sega Saturn. I've not used the PAL one, and this is in absolutely fantastic condition with all its polys. Glorious condition to the box. This will be going as well, guys. Because, like I said, I use my Japanese one. So There we go, guys. Let me know in comments what you think. I'm going to make some money, make a lot of space, and focus on my Japanese collection. These are my Japanese games so far. We've got Real Bout, Albert Odyssey, obviously Outrun. The big box ones, what we got, X-Men vs Street Fighter. Would love more of these big box games. Metal Slug, they look so good on the shelf. Marvel Superheroes vs Street Fighter. And then we've got Vampire Saviour. One I would love to get in the box, but I didn't. I've just got that release, and that is Dungeons and Dragons. Glorious 2D side-scrolling beaters these. And then we've got Strikers 1945, G-Bookers, Puyo Puyo Pop 2. Dragon Force, not that it's going to be playable, got that in a bundle I believe. Dead or Alive, great game. We've got the sequel to Galactic Attack Japanese, Last Section 2, not as good as the original Last Section. Robo Pit, Virtual Cop 2, so I've got that PAL and Japanese, I might let the PAL go. A fishing game. What we got here? That's an Xbox game there, and we've got another cased Quake there, so that will be going. Chaos Control, there you go, I do have it Japanese. Interesting, huh? Interesting. It's going to have to play that. Batsugon, an awesome game. There's more games like that, guys, that I want in this collection. Race Driving. Sega Rally. Fighting Vipers, so we've already got that, so, you know, that one will be going. Definitely. Galaxy Fight, another 2D fighter. Exhumed Japanese release. Not sure how playable that is. Sengoku Ace Episode 2. Great little game that, really enjoyed that. Victory Goal. Victory Goal 96. Alone in the Dark 2, so we've got it Japanese. A golf game. Clockwork Knight, so brilliant. Yep, I didn't realise I had the Japanese release of that, so that's excellent. Vampire Hunter, Gradius Deluxe Pack. So I want the Salamander Deluxe Pack. Gotta have that. Bomberman. The original Virtual Cop. Winning Post 2. Popular games in Japan. Panzer Dragoon. The Game in Paradise, absolutely brilliant, cute, some up shooter that. Darius Gaiden, great Darius game, probably the best on the Saturn. I can't remember the name of this one, but it's a shooter and it's pretty good as well. Quite a cheap shooter in regards to Saturn shooters. Can't remember its name, might come back to me. Dodon Apache. Fantasy Zone, one of the Sega Ages releases. Assault Suit Lenos 2, good lot of mech, sort of run and gun that. Panzer Dragoon RPG, you know, the saga. What else we got? Panzer Dragoon 2. In the Hunt, great shooter that. Love the Metal Slug style to that game. The original Virtual Fighter. A game I've never unsealed. Astral, is that called? Yeah, that's still sealed, that one. Need to open that and play it really. Elevator Action 2. Returns. Fantastic game, one of my favourites on the Saturn. Gale Racer. Great little arcade port there. Oh, I can't remember this name. I couldn't remember it the last time I showed it off, but a great wacky 2D side-scrolling beater. Power Drift, Sega Ages again. Great conversion that. Taito Chase HQ and SCI. Special Criminal Investigation, both of the arcade games on there. Not bad ports, pretty close. And the original Daytona. So as you can see, guys, I've got one shelf nearly of Japanese, and I really want to build on that. We're going to have one shelf left, maybe even less, of PAL games. And let the selling begin, guys, as I'll take a picture of what's going, what's staying. But yeah, let me know in comments, guys, what do you think? This is a massive change to the Sega Wall. So like I said, I wanted to share it with you. Until the next time, guys, I'm Sega Zombie. Goodbye.